Welcome to Dutch Crime Rundown, where we uncover the dark and gripping stories of some of the world's most notorious criminals. In today's episode, we will go through the lives of 4 of Europe's most wanted women. These women, Eva Zámečníková, Marina Kramberger, Marzia Calleja Maatouk, and Tanya Gomez, are infamous for their involvement in crimes ranging from attempted murder to large-scale drug trafficking and sophisticated fraud. But what drove these women down such dark paths? What pivotal events led them to become some of the most hunted individuals in Europe? Stay with us as we trace their lives from ordinary beginnings to the notorious criminals they are today. This is the story of the rise and fall of 4 women whose names now resonate across Europe's criminal landscape. On number 4, we have the ice-cold Eva Zámečníková. Eva Zámečníková was born on October 16, 1981, in the Czech Republic, where she spent her early years in a typical middle-class family. Her life took a significant turn when she decided to move to Slovakia in her early 20s. Here, she met Ludovic, a Slovak soldier whose disciplined and regimented life sharply contrasted with her free-spirited personality. Their relationship quickly blossomed, leading to marriage and a seemingly stable life in the quiet village of Cocholna Velčice, near Trenčín. In this quiet village, Eva and Ludovic started a life together, but the peace was short-lived. Ludovic's frequent military deployments fueled Eva's suspicions of infidelity, and her resentment grew. The once idyllic relationship became a breeding ground for mistrust and tension, with Eva feeling increasingly isolated and consumed by jealousy. The couple's disputes escalated, creating a volatile environment that would soon lead to a dark turn in Eva's life. By 2013, Eva's marriage had deteriorated beyond repair. Her once loving relationship with Ludovic had turned into a battlefield of accusations and bitterness. The tension reached a breaking point when Eva, driven by anger and a desire for revenge, decided to take drastic action. She approached Martin Adamkovic, a man with a criminal record, with a sinister proposal. She wanted him to kill her husband. Eva meticulously planned every detail of the crime. Initially, the plan was to have Ludovic shot, a quick and decisive method. However, when Eva was unable to secure bullets, she revised the plan to something more gruesome. The new plot involved sedating Ludovic, choking him, and burying his body in a remote forest. Eva even offered Adamkovic over £1 million, approximately 50,000 euros, for the job, demonstrating her determination to see the plan through. The murder was scheduled to take place on January 24, 2014. Eva's plan extended beyond just the murder. She intended to report Ludovic missing 2 years after the crime, allowing her to inherit his share of their house and solidify her proof. Her motives were cold and calculated, forced by a combination of financial gain and personal enmity. However, Adamkovic, despite initially agreeing to the plan, found himself unable to carry out such a heinous act. Haunted by the gravity of what he was about to do, he decided to go to the police instead of following through with the murder. His decision to turn informant was a critical turning point, as it led to Eva's arrest and subsequent trial. In 2015, Eva Zámečníková stood trial for attempted murder. The courtroom was packed as the details of her cold-blooded plot were laid bare. The public was shocked by the depth of her malice, and the trial quickly became a media sensation. Eva was found guilty and sentenced to 8 years in prison. However, in a twist that would frustrate law enforcement, Eva managed to flee before her incarceration, disappearing from public view and becoming one of Europe's most wanted fugitives. Since her escape, Eva Zámečníková has remained at large, evading capture despite numerous efforts by international law enforcement agencies. Her story serves as a stark example of how personal enmities and unchecked anger can lead to devastating consequences. Today, Eva's name is synonymous with betrayal and cold-blooded ambition, and she remains on Interpol's most wanted list, her whereabouts still unknown. After Eva, at the third spot of this list, we find the unscrupulous Marina Kramberger. Marina Kramberger was born on January 5, 1990, in Slovenia, a country known for its stunning landscapes and rich history. However, Marina's life would take a path far removed from the peaceful surroundings of her homeland. Details about her early years are scarce, but what is known is that she possessed a natural charm and intelligence, qualities that would later aid her in her life of crime. By her early 20s, Marina had begun to develop a reputation as a skilled manipulator. She had an uncanny ability to win people's trust, using her charm to deceive and defraud. This talent for deception laid the groundwork for a series of fraudulent schemes that would eventually make her one of Europe's most wanted criminals. Marina's criminal activities were as varied as they were fearless. She specialized in fraud, using multiple identities and fake stories to manipulate her victims. Her schemes often involved convincing people to transfer large sums of money to her, rent out apartments, or lend her vehicles under pretenses. Marina's victims were often left in financial ruin while she moved on to her next target without any evidence. One of her most notorious scams involved posing as a high-ranking executive from a well-known company, convincing a series of victims to invest in non-existent business ventures. Her ability to fabricate convincing stories and her meticulous attention to detail made her frauds almost undetectable until it was too late. Marina's criminal activities were not confined to Slovenia. She operated across Europe, moving frequently to avoid detection. Her ability to blend in and her knack for deception made her a particularly challenging target for law enforcement. Marina's operations were sophisticated, often involving accomplices who helped her maintain her web of lies and deceit. In July 2021, Marina was due to stand trial for her numerous crimes. However, rather than facing justice, she chose to escape, going on the run and becoming a fugitive. Her name was quickly added to Europol's most wanted list, but this did little to hinder her activities. Even as she evaded capture, Marina continued to commit fraud, further cementing her reputation as a master of deception. For nearly 3 years, Marina managed to stay one step ahead of the authorities. She was known to change her appearance frequently and move between cities, often accompanied by another woman who was believed to be her accomplice. Her ability to evade capture was a testament to her skills in manipulation and disguise. In June 2024, Marina's luck finally ran out. Slovenian police, acting on a tip-off, managed to track her down and arrest her after an extensive manhunt. Her arrest marked the end of a criminal career that had left countless victims in its wake. Marina was sentenced to 1 year and 3 months in prison for multiple counts of fraud. While her sentence may seem light compared to the damage she caused, her arrest was a significant victory for law enforcement agencies across Europe. Marina Kramberger's life is a stark example of how charm and deceit can be wielded as tools of crime. Her ability to manipulate and defraud with such ease serves as a cautionary tale for anyone who underestimates the power of deception. Her story highlights the devastating impact of fraud and the lengths to which individuals will go to achieve their selfish ends. Despite her arrest, the financial and emotional scars left on her victims are likely to last a lifetime. Moving further upwards on this list, we have the criminal princess Marzia Calleja Maatouk. Marzia Calleja Maatouk was born on April 3, 2000 in Malta, a small island nation in the Mediterranean. Her early life was typical of many young women in Malta. She was raised in a modest family and was known for her cheerful and outgoing personality. However, Marzia's life took a dramatic turn when she met and married Calleja Maatouk, a man with a notorious criminal background. Gomez's influence on Marzia was profound. He introduced her to a world of crime and illicit activities, steering her away from the conventional path she might have otherwise followed. The couple's relationship was marked by their shared involvement in illegal activities, particularly drug trafficking. In August 2019, Marzia's life of crime came to public attention when she was arrested for possessing 340 grams of cannabis with the intent to traffic. This arrest marked the beginning of her notoriety. At just 19 years old, Marzia was thrust into the criminal spotlight, her name associated with the illicit drug trade. Following her arrest, Marzia was sentenced to 15 months in prison, a sentence that reflected the seriousness of her crimes. However, rather than serving her time, Marzia chose to escape from Malta with her husband, Gomez, evading the authorities and becoming a fugitive. Their escape was carefully planned, with the couple using false passports and possibly traveling by sea to avoid detection. Marzia and Gomez's life on the run was fraught with danger and uncertainty. They moved frequently, trying to stay one step ahead of law enforcement. Their journey took them across several countries, including Serbia and Libya, as they sought refuge from the international manhunt that was closing in on them. Despite the constant threat of capture, Marzia and Gomez continued their criminal activities while on the run. They became deeply entangled in the dark world of international drug trafficking, further deepening their notoriety. She had been missing since August 2023, along with her husband. The couple's life of crime reached its tragic end in May 2024, when Marzia was found dead by Libyan troops. Her death, shrouded in mystery, marked the end of a young life that had spiraled out of control. Marzia's family, particularly her brother Marvin Zamet, was devastated by the news of her death. Marvin's heartfelt tribute to his sister highlighted her family's deep love for her, despite the path she had chosen. Marzia's body was eventually returned to Malta, where her family sought to give her a proper burial. Marzia Calleja Maatouk's life is a tragic tale of how quickly one's life can be derailed by poor choices and dangerous associations. Her involvement in the drug trade and her life on the run serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of living outside the law. Marzia's story is not just one of crime, but also loss of potential, loss of life, and the enduring grief of a family left to pick up the pieces. And on top of this list, we find the notorious Tanya Gomez. Tanya Gomez was born on February 21, 1993, in Mexico. Her early years were unremarkable, marked by a typical upbringing in a working-class family. However, Tanya's intelligence and ambition soon set her apart. She moved to Sweden in her early 20s, seeking new opportunities and a fresh start. But instead of pursuing a legitimate path, Tanya quickly became involved in the criminal underworld. Tanya's rise in the world of crime was both swift and ruthless. She became a key figure in an organized crime group based in Stockholm, involved in large-scale drug trafficking operations across Europe. Tanya's role in the organization was pivotal. She was responsible for coordinating the transportation and distribution of massive quantities of drugs, including cocaine and methamphetamine. Tanya's criminal activities were not limited to drug trafficking. She was also heavily involved in money laundering, using her financial acumen to clean the illicit profits generated by her operations. Her network extended across multiple countries, and she was known for her ability to maintain control and order within her organization. Tanya's involvement in the illegal trade of stray dogs added another layer to her criminal portfolio, revealing the breadth of her illicit activities. In March 2021, Swedish authorities began closing in on Tanya and her criminal network. The pressure from law enforcement forced her to go on the run, evading capture for over 2 years. During this time, Tanya lived a transient lifestyle, constantly moving between safe houses and using false identities to stay under the radar. Her ability to elude capture was a testament to her strategic mind and the extensive resources at her disposal. Despite her criminal success, Tanya's life on the run was marked by constant danger and instability. She had few close relationships, as trust was a luxury she could not afford. Tanya's personal life was as turbulent as her criminal career, with her isolated existence highlighting the harsh realities of life as a fugitive. Tanya's criminal career came to an end in 2023 when she was captured by law enforcement in a dramatic raid in Stockholm. The raid culminated years of investigation and surveillance by law enforcement agencies across Europe. Tanya was charged with multiple counts of drug trafficking, money laundering, and other crimes. Her trial was highly publicized, and she was sentenced to a lengthy prison term. The details of her criminal operations, revealed during the trial, shocked many and highlighted the depth of her involvement in the criminal underworld. Tanya Gomez's story is a powerful narrative of ambition and downfall. Her life, marked by crime and evasion, serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of a life lived on the edge. Her tale is one of rise and fall, a journey through the dark corridors of the criminal world. The stories of Eva Zámečníková, Marina Kramberger, Marzia Calleja Maatouk, and Tanya Gomez offer a rare glimpse into the lives of some of Europe's most notorious female criminals. Each of these women took a different path to infamy, but all of their stories share common themes of ambition, deception, and the inevitable consequences of their actions. These women's lives serve as reminders of the dark allure of crime and the devastating impact it can have on both the perpetrators and their victims. From attempted murder plots to large-scale fraud and drug trafficking, their actions have left a lasting mark on the world. As we close this chapter on these four wanted women, we're reminded of the complex and often dangerous paths that lead individuals into a life of crime. Their stories are not just about their criminal acts, but about the choices, environments, and influences that shaped their lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the lives of some of Europe's most wanted women. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to us and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Your support helps us bring these stories to light. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.